Today I'd like to talk about last night. The Nikkei rallied up 9%. Of course, since last Thursday it was down 28.2%, down 12% yesterday. The market's lost around $6.4 trillion worth of value. Certainly no small thing. As we said yesterday, we're looking to see if we blew up anybody on the close. It didn't seem like they did. They handled that right now. So that is far from over, okay? If we want to get into the complexity, counterparty exposure, currency trading, all this other stuff, there's millions of things. Trust me, right now, all the firms are stress testing their clients, trying to figure out what they're in. Are they in trouble? Are they not? So this is far from over, okay? But last night, up went the Nikkei, 9.2%. And who bought? I mean, here we are, truly in a crisis, according to what our VIX is. So who would buy the Nikkei given the issues that they're facing? Well, my guess is, without getting an email last night, that it was the BOJ. Okay, starting in 2013, the BOJ started buying the Nikkei ETFs, and now they own 75% of the Japanese exchange-traded funds, and that makes them the top 10 shareholder of 90% of the Nikkei 25 stocks that are in the Nikkei 225. Okay. But the Japanese are no slouches. They also own around 53% of all the government bonds that are issued. So the government owns their own bonds. Remember something, we do QE, QT. The Japanese went to QQE, which is qualitative and quantitative easing. We can talk about that later. So now JP Morgan warned this morning, we're only about halfway through unraveling of the yen carry trade. I'm not so sure of this. Because there are many different kinds of carry trades. So yes, there are carry trades where they're borrowing at the zero cost in Japan and they're buying stocks or bonds or whatever. But there's also a huge crypto that you have to understand something. Crypto doesn't pay interest per se. In fact, it doesn't. But through financial engineering, a lot of these crypto coins and so forth offer some kind of interest, quote unquote interest, all right? But at the base level, it doesn't pay an interest. So think about it. Go to Japan, they borrowed at 0%, okay? And they were borrowing when the yen was 160. Now the yen's down to 144, and or up to 144, and these guys are starting to get margin calls. And then on top of that, they just raised the interest rates from 0 to 0.25. Now, for 17 years, it was minus 0.1. Like a month ago, they moved it up to 0. That was their great rate hike. And now they just moved it up to 0.25. My point is the borrowing in Japan is getting more expensive. Now, the 0.25 obviously is not a deal killer, but the yen going down is making it more and more expensive. Now, these people aren't idiots. They can do derivatives to protect themselves against interest rate rises and the movements of the yen, but guess what? That adds expense. So thereby, depending on where you are, there becomes the liquidation. So for all you fanboys yesterday, why was crypto going down? The yen carry trade, all right? It is estimated by some FX people that it's $2 trillion worth of the yen carry trade for crypto, okay? So how's this all gonna work out? It's be exactly what I said on Friday and Sunday and Monday. This selling is gonna come in waves. It's not gonna happen in one day. The world does not end in one day, okay? One lesson I've learned in my 50 years, it doesn't end in one day. But it is not over yet. What do you think? Like and follow, and certainly comment.